Okay, so this video is all going to be about fraction review. I'm going to quickly review how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. So when adding and subtracting fractions, your denominators have to be the same. So you need to see, first thing, can one of these turn into the other by multiplying? Can 3 turn into 9 or 9 can turn into 3? Well, I know 9 times something will always make it bigger, so that doesn't work. But 3 times 3 does equal 9. So if I do that, my denominators are the same. I just had to change this one. So if this stays the same, so does the numerator. Now, my numerator is not going to stay the same. If I change my denominator, I have to change my numerator. So I multiplied it by 3, so I'm multiplying my numerator by 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, 6 plus 7 is 13. So I have 13 over 9. Now here's where it gets tricky. I can never have my numerator bigger than my denominator. So here are fractions. Both these are examples. My numerator is smaller, my numerator is smaller. 7 is less than 9, 6 is less than 9. So I need to pull out my wholes. Well, one whole is 9 over 9. So when I take away 9, 13 minus 9, I get 4 left. So I'm splitting up 13 into 9 and 4. So I have 9 over 9, which is a whole, and I have 4 left. So the answer is 1 4/9. Now sometimes you won't always get so lucky. 4 can't turn into 6. 4, 8, 12 doesn't work. 6 can't turn into 4. 6, 12, 18. That doesn't work. So a lot of the times you'll just want to multiply them together. Well, 4 times 6 and 6 times 4. But you get 24 there, and that's a really large number. You want to stay under 20. 24 will sometimes be okay, but sometimes won't. So first off, we're going to get rid of our wholes. I'm going to add them to the side. Okay, so now I can only focus on my fractions, which is the hard part. Well, I'm going to count by 4s to the side. 4, 8, 12, 16. I normally only go 4 or 5 deep. 6, 12, 18, 24. Hey, they can both turn into 12. So 4 times 3 and 6 times 2, whatever I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. 3 twelfths times plus 2 twelfths is 5 twelfths. Now I'm not done, I had the wholes over here. So the answer is 3 5 twelfths. Okay, and that's adding for you. Now let's take subtracting. You do the same thing. Can my numerator or my denominators turn into each other? 5, 10, that doesn't work. 3, 6, 9, nope. So I'm going to try multiplying by each other. 5 times 3 is 15. Well, that's under 20, so I'm good to go. Whatever I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. 12 minus 5 is 7. The answer is 7/15. Okay? Remember, your denominators stay the same. Once I change them, I'm leaving them alone. When I add and subtract, that's dealing with my numerator, my amount. Your denominator is just your size. Okay, so now I have wholes again. Now this is the tricky one. We've done it several thousand times in class. 9 minus 1 is 8, so I take it to the side just like I did over here. So when I take away my 9, I have 0 left. When I take away my 1, I have 2/3. If I have 0 cookies, I can't give you anything. So I gotta regroup. I take from my whole, and this is now 1. 1 whole minus 2/3 is 1/3, because 1 whole is 3/3. So the answer is 7 1/3. Okay, multiplying. Believe it or not, multiplying is actually easier than adding and subtracting. You're just wanting to go straight across. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 8 is 40. Now, here's where it gets tricky. When I have my big denominator like this, I want to see if I can reduce, which means divide. So, the rule number 1, check your numerator. Can they both be divided by 6? Nope. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. Doesn't work. All right, rule number 2, check your 2's. Are they both even and can be divided by 2? Yeah. So now I get 3 over 20. That looks better, because remember we want it to be under 24. Okay, now this one, I can't go straight across because this 4 is acting like a big old wall. So I gotta turn it into a fraction by just putting a 1 under it. 4 wholes is the same thing as 4 ones. 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. My numerator is bigger than my denominator, so I pull out my whole. Because 1 whole is 3/3. I have 1 left over. 3 plus 1 is 4. All right. I can't go straight across, and it's a mixed number, so I can't just put a 1 under it. So you got to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction, or a fraction greater than 1. So 1 whole is 2 over 2, and then you add the extra, or you can do the shortcut. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And 6, 6 is a whole. All right, finally we're going to division, the easiest one of them all. First number is a whole, so my answer is going to be a whole. And then I multiply, 2 times 3. First number is a fraction, so my answer is going to be a fraction. 2 times 3. And that's as far as you get in 5th grade math. All right, so overall, adding, subtracting are the most work because you have to worry about regrouping for both of them. So when you have a numerator bigger than your denominator, or when you can't subtract, you have to worry about regrouping. You have to worry about your denominators staying or turning into the same thing, either changing one of them, having to think through writing out your facts, or just multiplying them by each other. So always going to be one of these 3 ways. All right, and remember, you're at the end, once you have your denominators the same, you're only working with the numerators. Denominators are your size, your numerator is the amount. Multiplying, you go straight across. If you can't and it's just a whole, put a 1 under it, or change it to an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1. And then that, follow your first number.